This is a really effective post-surf stretch session I did, but this could be anything, whether it's whatever your sport is, just a nice, relaxing, stretching routine, okay? And let's get into it. So I'm starting off with a stretch on the lats, the latissimus dorsi, and we're going to go for 3 rounds each side for approximately 30 seconds or so, or just go by feel. I like to think breath cycles actually 8 to 10 inhales and exhales. So if you notice, there's a latissimus dorsi muscle there, right? It's one of the biggest, sorry, it is the biggest muscle on our back, one of the biggest muscles in our body, and it attaches all the way down to, the lower back lumbar vertebrae, all the way up to the thoracic vertebrae. It's absolutely huge and it attaches onto our shoulder as well. So if this is tight and if this is weak, it's going to affect your back. If it's strong, mobile, moves well, it's going to affect your back. And you want it the opposite. So strengthen it, look after it. What I want you to note with this is the side bending of the spine. So see that arrow there? That's more to show the kind of side bending. My right shoulder is being drawn towards my right hip, which you'll see in a moment here. See what I'm doing with my legs. And that way I'm getting a nice lengthening. I'm also with my hand and pushing my hand away. So I'm trying to lift that hand over my head as far as possible, whilst fishing for tension and taking deep breaths. Note the side bending there. See that position? That's what I talk about. That's what I mean with side bending. So I'm getting the left hand side now, the side first away from you. And yeah, really getting an excellent stretch there. I'm trying to inflate my lungs on that side. So taking a deep breath in through the nose. And that way we can actually stretch from the inside out. Expand the rib cage, feel that stretch. A nice slow exhale. Do that 6 to 8 times, or about 30 to 40 seconds per side. We can play around with it. We can drop the shoulder. We can move around. You will feel it where you feel it. You will feel it where you're tightest. So don't be afraid to explore, okay? I absolutely love that stretch. And for myself, it's pretty vital. Post-swimming, post-surfing, I need to do that. Because I had some shoulder issues before, and when those lats get tight, and they're going to affect the shoulder and indeed the lower back. So yeah, then just a bit of spine segmentation. You might have seen me doing this before. Some full range controlled movement, not just your standard cat and cow, trying to flow up and down the spine, okay? So I'd advise full range spinal movement every single day, okay? I've done that plenty elsewhere. Next are some neck translations. These are tricky. Client of mine says, Rob has me doing the walk like Egyptian dance, if you remember that video. But anyway, imagine you have a book in your head and you don't want the book to fall over. So we're getting some sideways movement. This is difficult for a lot of people, but gaining skill at articulating your spine is something I'd suggest. It's a worthy practice, It's going to keep the spine healthy. You're going to keep all the joints, the muscles, etc. moving well. And so give it a go, even if it is difficult. Then I was just doing some north, south, east, wests. And this is after a long day surfing. So I spent 3 hours in the car driving down, 3 hours back, and about 3 or 4 hours in the water. So with the neck, really have to look after. So rather than just stretching it, I like to articulate it first, get synovial fluid into the joints and warm up the muscles around it, and then we do a bit of stretching. Nothing in a pain-free range of motion. And now I'm going to stretch. I start off with a trap stretch or trapezius muscle. So look what I'm doing with the hand there, okay? I kind of lift up the shoulder, then drive the shoulder down, and then that's the muscle I'm getting after, the traps, and then grab the head. Now, I'm not force my head down. I'm thinking of lifting my crown of my head towards the ceiling, get some elongation into the spine there, and drive the hand down. Don't force it, but I'm getting it's very easy to get a very good stretch there. You don't have to go to like 100% or whatever it might be. I'm thinking like 70, 80%, and might add a little bit as I go through them. But think about working with your body, not against it. And I do both sides. And the protocol I have for this is 3 rounds. First round, you kind of get the idea what you're doing. Second round, you're getting a bit of an effect. And then third round, you kind of really get the results. So 3 rounds, again, 6 to 8 breath cycles or about 30 seconds works really well. Honestly, I was up at 5 o'clock in the morning here driving down to the west. I was tired. I'd got to surf in. I didn't want to do a stretch at all, but I'm forcing myself. This 20 minutes makes all the difference. I wake up feeling much fresher, recover better, rehydrate the the tissues well. Make sure you're hydrated whenever you stretch. These are some CARs, controlled articular rotations. I'm not being too strict with these, but just nice, big, largest pain-free range of motion neck circles you can. Really important to articulate the joints, not just stretch the muscles associated with them. So yeah, I'm going into another round of the trapezius or trap stretch here. And just play around it, like move it around. This can take a while to get, but when you depress the shoulder, that's when I'm driving the heel of my hand down towards the floor. I do feel that quite strongly. Don't force it, okay? And as I just mentioned, really important to be hydrated. Heard some typical numbers, about 70% of humans are chronically dehydrated in this modern world. So make sure you're trying to get up to that 30 to 40 mils of liquids per kilogram of body weight. Nice guide. This one, yeah, this can take a while to find. It's a scalene stretch. If you imagine surfing, at my neck is in extension all the time, and there's the scalenes there. So I'm kind of orienting my head or positioning my head, and then similar to the last stretch, driving the hand down to feel a bit of a stretch on the front side of the neck. Okay, so that green or red muscles highlighted in the diagram. It can take a bit of practice, and that's okay. Fish for tension. But yeah, this really helps myself. I've had some neck, bit of whiplash really. Surfing, landing on my back, nothing major, but listen, we all have issues with our necks because we're looking at phones, etc. Are you looking down a phone now? So good idea to learn how to take care of it, right? Through articulation, which we did previously, and some nice recovery stretches. So I find these really vital. When I don't do these kind of things regularly, not getting out any younger, and the likes of surfing, my sport, gym, will catch up with me. So we need to kind of keep the tissues hydrated and moving well. And again, 3 rounds, okay, 30 to 40 seconds each side, and don't force the stretch. Anywhere from 60 to 70, 80% is where I'd be working. And you'll feel it after 3 rounds. You will feel it better, particularly if you're well hydrated, okay? So just ease into it, give it a go. What I do find is when I straighten out my arm, makes difference, straighten the elbow and pull that arm or the hand back into extension. Just doing some gentle shoulder circles now. I cover these in other exercises, but yeah, I'm always moving shoulders in full range of motion. Next one, mermaid stretch, lovely stretch. Note the position, it's a bit like the 1990 with my feet. Lean down onto your elbow, be strong in the elbow, and I'm really looking to get some length between the palm of my hand that's reaching away and the hip. I'm not just side bending, I'm thinking of elevating. So I'm really lifting that hand as far as I can above my head, like the SWAT in class who cannot wait to answer the question, okay? Wasn't me in school, but anyway, it's me in this stretch here, and then slowly come out of it, right? And again, we can breathe into that upper lung area, okay? So if you try this next time, reach over and take a deep breaths into that upper, just kind of below the armpit there, trying to expand that. Deep breath in, exhale. 30 to 40 seconds, or I like going by breath cycles, 6 to 8 breath cycles. Beautiful stretch. Okay, so we're getting a bit of the lats now, we're getting all down that side, and just fish for tension. Where do you feel it? Can you move around and get a little bit of tension somewhere else? Good idea to play with this. You will feel it where you feel it. Again, we're going for 3 rounds, and I wanted to put all 3 rounds in this so you follow along. Generally speaking, we can half-ass this stuff, but in terms of recovery, if you're interested in your longevity, if you love your sport, put in the 20 minutes, okay? My sport of surfing, it's brutal on the body. I'm kind of lying face down on the board, back extension the whole time, a lot of paddling, and on top of that, I was driving for about 7 hours that day, stuck behind a steering wheel. So this is the least I can do to kind of keep the body moving well, okay? We need to maintain it. No one's going to maintain it for us. Then go on the other side, nice deep breaths, stay strong in the shoulder, drive that hand away. This can be work, okay? I would often be sweating after doing exercise like this. It's not passive where we're just kind of pulling on an ankle, doing a quad stretch or what have you, I'm actively reaching away and thinking of the breathing as well. Okay. Now, final round of this guy, the mermaid stretch, before we move on. So nice deep breaths. Play around with it. See the way I'm moving my hand there? I really drove my hand there further away. And what you'll find is you'll increase range of motion as you go, as you kind of free up the tissues, get the muscles better at sliding over one another. Okay. One more round. Nice deep breaths. And what you can do is, yes, follow this whole routine, but you might pick out 1 or 2 stretches. And, if you aren't going to do a 20-minute stretch, do a 3-minute stretch. Just take out one of them. Do 5 minutes. It's better than nothing. And gradually build up to it. This one is kind of tricky. I'm not doing it too strictly, but it's a psoas stretch. So I've posteriorly tilted pelvis. I have a full routine breaking this down in more detail. Drop me DM if you want it. But there's the psoas there. So it attaches onto the lumbar vertebrae through our pelvis onto the top of our femur. So it's involved in hip flexion, okay, lifting our knee up. And I'm trying to get as much length between the palm of my hand and the knee that's in contact with the ground. Okay, so look at it on this side. Pop one knee out, forward and to the side. Externally rotate the hand, drive the hand up towards the ceiling, lean forward, keep that posterior pelvic tilt. Okay, reach up, pull the hand into extension and take deep breaths, 6 to 8 deep breaths into that upper right, under the armpit, up that upper right lung. Okay, this is tricky. I am tired, so I'm not doing it strictly, but that's absolutely fine. Okay, look, I'm doing the pelvis, extension, flexion. I do a kind of similar, just an easier hip flexor stretch here. So just hands on the knee, bit of a posterior pelvic tilt, bit of rotation, and I'm just trying to get a bit of a stretch into that left leg hip flexor. Again, I'd spent about 7 hours in the car, so it's a good idea to lengthen these, not forcing anything, just nice deep breaths, breathing to relax. Swapping sides. Okay, see that tuck of the pelvis? That's what I mean by a posterior pelvic tilt. Lean forward, bit of rotation, and just getting some length in the hip flexors. Nothing mental. We're not forcing anything here. Again, I was quite fatigued here, so I'm working with my body, right? And that's what we need to get better at, judging where our body's at. This is a spinal elongation exercise called an ELDOA. It is addressing or targeting the, C6, C7, the vertebrae of the neck. So I'm trying to ensure I'm lying straight, externally rotate the hands, protract, so push my hands up towards the ceiling. I have a tuck with my pelvis, almost like you're about to do ab work, and I'm trying to get my spine as long as I can between the crown of my head and my tailbone. So think about reaching that crown of your head away, tuck the chin, almost like you're trying to show off a double chin. You're looking down towards your chest. You're breathing intently the whole time. There's a lot going on with the ankles as well there in inversion, but even just try and hold this and imagine you have a long spine, okay? We are decompressing the spine, lying in this position, but then we're all passively, but then we're just trying to activate the postural muscles, and you will feel your postural muscles working here. Oftentimes, I feel a bit of DOMs in them after doing this, and that's what I want, because we need to strengthen them, okay? There's a bit of a kind of adductor stretch there as well. This guy is for the thoracic vertebrae, okay? So up around the mid-back. Reaching the hands out, similar to the other stretches, I'm trying to extend those hands over my head as far as possible in a kind of Y formation. I'm pulling the wrists back, my hands back into extension. That actually draws tissue away from my armpits there, the lats. It kind of draws that up by doing that, play around with it. Now, I'm thinking about reaching my backside the opposite direction. So my backside's moving towards the TV, my hands are moving away from it. Therefore, we get a little bit of elongation, that upper spine area. Finally, a little bit of a glute stretch here, and I have a bit of rotation. See the way I'm kind of looking towards the camera, where I'm pulling my hip the other way, just playing around with this, getting a bit of a light glute stretch, not forcing anything, and a bit of rotation there. You can see the rotation kind of better from here. I think did I do 2-3 rounds of this? Again, sitting on my backside in the car for an awful long. So what we've done is essentially we've stretched, gotten length into most of the major muscles in our back, in our legs, the psoas, gotten some length in there. We've thought about stretching it from the inside. We've worked on the neck, really important. I'd get a cranky neck if I wasn't doing this stuff regularly. And yeah, we've worked breathing the whole time, so we're actively breathing throughout. Okay, make sure you're hydrated, you get the most out of it. And we're going into a passive spinal decompression now. When you think about life in general, we're walking around, our spine's compressed, and there's nothing wrong with compressive force. You think you're in the gym, you're lifting weights, etc. That's compressive force to the spine. But we've done some active decompression with that last neck elongation or ELDOA exercise. We'll do some passive in a moment. This is just a sideline quad stretch, and just almost for feel as well. It is quite tight there, so I'm just doing 2-3 rounds of 5 to 8 breath cycles each side. Not trying to overdo it, and working with the body. I would say I'm doing this about 70-80%. Even with my right hand there, I like to kind of reach up, and it's just a nice stretch to do. Okay, again, we all spend way too much time in the seated position in this modern world. We need to for necessity, so a good idea to get a nice stretch into it. And breathing to relax, okay? And again, 20-minute session, you have time to do it all, great. If you're only doing half of this, you will still get value from it. What you could do is do half at one night, half at the other. But you'll never regret not doing it. I'm also doing it like before bed. I could be watching, I don't know, the news or something depressing like that, and winding myself up. But by doing this before bed, it really aids sleep, aids recovery. Now look what I've done with finally I've gotten a few cushions there. You could prop your legs up even onto a couch so your femurs are more perpendicular to the floor if you like. And I'm thinking about elongating my spine. That's what I was doing my neck before, so I'm kind of stretched out. My hands wide, and then I'm just relaxing. Okay, really relaxing, eyes closed, and deep breath in through the nose, fully exhale. And when we exhale, don't inhale until you have to. Okay, you don't have to try and break records, but try and slow your breathing down. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to slow my breathing down. I'm trying to move into that kind of rest and digest phase of the parasympathetic nervous system, and really trying to relax. I'm thinking of the lower back muscles just becoming super relaxed, the glutes becoming super relaxed, leg muscles also. And in this position, we are in that, as I was mentioning, that decompressed. Naturally, we're going to be decompressing the spine. When we talk about compression, standing upright under gravity, the spinal discs will be compressed due to gravity, due to, if you're doing walking lunges, anything carrying weights. And so spending a bit of time actively decompressing is really nice. What we do here with the cushions kind of gets our pelvis in a nice position to get that decompression into the lumbar vertebrae. And we're just breathing to relax. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale like a valve, like you have a valve in your mouth. Try a bit of that. Each inhale and exhale, you're becoming more relaxed. Nice deep breath in. Control the exhale. Pause before you need to inhale. Feel yourself becoming more relaxed. Close your eyes. With every breath, feel that tension just dissipate from your body. You could do a body scan. Move your fingers, make them relaxed. Slightly move your shoulders. Go down through your body. Mid-back, how is that feeling? Can you relax your jaw more? Can you relax your neck more? Can you relax your glutes, your lower back? Focus on just letting go of any tension there. Every time you exhale, you become more relaxed. Breathe in. Breathe out and become more relaxed. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Save this routine. Do it after a long day, after your sport, before bed. Invest 20 minutes into just moving better, feeling better. If you have any questions on any of this, do reach out and let me know. I hope you enjoyed it. Cheers.